Oh, hi, Jason. How are you?
Really good. So I got here
Yes,
with me Annick Morbid Chef Giroux, Hellbent for
yeah.
cooking.
Tonight, I'm gonna cook up a chickpea salad for supper.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you cook all the time? Is this a real passion for you?
Oh, yeah, totally. For me, I love food. I love metal, and I love cooking food while listening to metal. It's total passion.
Now I see on your apron you have the back patches of like Judas Priest, the old logo, Mayhem. Is that actually what you cook with?
Yeah, definitely. Especially old 80s metal like Judas Priest, Motorhead, stuff that wants that makes me headbang and go faster with onion cutting and stuff like that.
So how long have you been cooking and listening to death metal and heavy metal?
For well, it's not that long ago actually. Maybe 4 or 5 years. Pretty much since I moved out of my parents' place because I had to.
So that's for what, cooking or heavy
uh,
metal?
oh, heavy metal. That's for cooking, but
Okay.
heavy metal. It's been since I was about 11 years old, so that's quite a while ago.
Wow, so you've always stayed true to the metal scene, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Now
That's
you're never going to sell out, I'm sure.
no. Metal is my life.
That's great.
I have metal blood.
So, Anik, I seen you, or I heard you for the first time. You were on Ian Christie's on the Bloody Roots on the
Yes, that's
series,
right.
Liquid Metal. You were on there, and I got bits and pieces of it. And let me tell you, how did Ian Christie discover you?
Ian, he had bought. I used to do a fanzine called Morbid Tales,
Okay.
and he had bought older issues at the very beginning, and so we even traded his old fanzine from the 80s for my new fanzines. And when my latest fanzine came out, he ordered it, and he saw that there was a very primitive version of Hellbent for cooking in it. So that's how he approached me to do this book together.
Now, all these recipes in this fabulous book, are they actually you that did them and took the
Uh,
pictures?
yes, I did everything. I did the researching. I contacted the bands. I made the recipes, took the photos, did the layout.
How long did it take you to do that stuff?
6 months.
6 months. Wow.
Yeah.
You're a professional chef, I take it.
Actually, I'm a professional graphic designer.
Okay, so you make it look good then.
That's right.
No, it's I mean, I'm looking through the book right now. Like the mummified jalapeno bacon bombs from Autopsy. Those look quite good.
Ah, that's actually one of the recipe that everyone tells me how good it is. It's that thing is it's so good. Like when you cook it, your entire house smells like bacon, and they just leave in like 5 minutes. You know,
Yummy.
yeah, it's really good.
And throughout the whole book, there's collections of photos and like a memorabilia. Now, this is all your personal collection, I take it.
Yeah, that's right. It's everything in there. Like in every chapters, there's albums, CDs, patches, and stuff like that. That's all my stuff.
Now, let's say, is there any recipes that could not be made into the book that was too hard to do, or every recipe from your research make it in this book?
No, there's a few. Well, actually, my goal for this book was to be able to make all the recipes myself, in order for everyone to be able to do it as well.
Okay.
So I got some recipes that were really too extreme for the book. There's a band from Thailand
Okay.
that they wanted to give me a recipe of cobra heart.
Okay, now where you get a cobra heart in Canada?
Exactly.
In Quebec.
It's pretty much impossible unless you go to the zoo or something.
And were they serious?
Yes, it's well, over there, even there, it's a novelty.
Okay.
But the guy was totally serious. Over there, you when you eat it, you know, you kind of eat the power of the snake at the same time, and you know, and you wash it down with a shooter of the snake's blood, or I don't know. It's just yeah, it's not really exciting. Well, you know, it's a strange recipe, but it's not something people would make, so it's not serious enough for the book.
To you, what would be the hardest recipe from this awesome book?
It was probably there's like a giant tamale recipe from Mexican band, and that one was a bit harder to make because I had to find Mexican ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky because I live in Montreal and we have you know, Latino grocery stores and stuff. But that one was really hard. It took about like 3 hours to make, and I had to make you know, dough and cook it in banana leaves,
Wow.
stuff like that. But it turned out really good, and it lasted, like, there was leftovers for like 2 weeks.
With this cookbook, did you eat everything that was in here after you make it, or people eat it?
Well, I invited some people to come over because I can't possibly eat everything myself.
Okay, and that's what I thought.
Yeah, so I brought some to work when I had leftovers, and I invited people, or I froze some food.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to bring to work and stuff like that.
Now,
Lunchtime.
this is a good question. There's a recipe. It's on page 70. It's from Obscurity. It's a tartare. It looks like hamburger. Now, did anybody eat that?
Yeah, actually, at the beginning, I didn't really want to try it. My boyfriend. I made it my boyfriend, and then he took a bite, and he's like, "Oh, Annick, you gotta try this." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll try it." And it was so good. I was really surprised how good that was. You know, it's like raw beef, but you really taste the beef.
So it's like raw hamburger, kind of?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It needs to be really fresh, so.
Okay. For all this stuff that you did, how much money did you invest in the foods? Did you invest in lots?
Yeah, that's a good question. I invested about $3,000 worth of food.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Now this book is really worth it then. That's a lot of money into investment for a book.
Yeah, I did. And you know, I had to buy like a professional camera and everything. But it's worth it for me. Like I don't care about the money. I just wanted to do something really nice. And I wanted to promote, you know, my favorite bands and just do a cool thing that, you know, when you're going to be old, you look back at it and you're like, wow, I did this when I was young, you know.
Is there going to be a Morbid Chef Part 2? Hellbent for cooking?
I'm not too sure. I have a lot of plans for the future. But who knows, maybe. I'm not sure.
Make a dictionary of cook foods. And, you know, is there lots of vegetarians in the death metal scene?
Yeah, surprisingly. Well, more in the grind, like death grind scene, because they're more political and they're more politically aware.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's the singer of Creator, which is, I think you know who they are. They're
That would be Miles.
Yeah. And he's a vegan.
Really?
He's more than a vegetarian, yeah. And he gave us his recipe. I was really surprised at that, actually.
Now, where's the recipe for Deicide in here? You never interviewed them?
He never got back to me.
Oh.
I asked Glenn Denton, but, you know, he's a very serious man. I'm sure he could have been really creative.
What are your plans like in this year? You're busy in promoting bands. You do DJ work and all that stuff?
Yep. I do DJ every Wednesdays in a bar called the Catacombs in Montreal. And also in March, I'm going to record an EP with my band, which is a French heavy metal.
Oh, so you're a lead vocalist or bassist?
Both.
Okay, both.
Yeah. And after this, I'm gonna promote a few shows in the summer and in the autumn.
And what's the name of your band?
My band is called Cauchemar.
Cauchemar? Nightmare in English?
That's right. And we play kind of a mix of new wave of British heavy metal, like early England kind of heavy metal, with a little bit of Black Sabbath style in it.
Okay, cool. So it's like some classic Sweet Savage and bands like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
The stuff Metallica made famous.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
You a big fan of the latest Metallica album, That Magnetic?
Oh no, I don't care really for like big bands that have new albums. I don't know. My boyfriend got it, but it's okay. I heard a few songs, but I didn't freak out over it. I'm more into like more underground bands that are still fresh and really passionate and stuff like that.
What's your take on Venom? What would be your favorite Venom album?
Oh, Venom!
Yeah.
Venom's one of my favorite bands. It's Welcome to Hell.
Ah,
Followed by,
good album.
Thank you.
It's from 1981.
Yeah, and I always play in League with Satan.
Okay.
At my metal night. That's a favorite, actually. When people are really drunk.
Right. And the people recognize this song.
Of course, yeah. I hope you play some at your radio show.
I sure will. And when you have your album of Cauchemar, I need a copy of that.
I will surely send you.
We need to play this stuff.
It's gonna be a 5-song EP, so I'll send you that for sure.
On the permissions and stuff with this book, how hard was it? Basically, just email you, or did you do it through the phone interviews systems, or how? On your book.
I most of the time I would send them emails.
Okay.
And if that wouldn't happen, if let's say their emails were wrong or stuff like that, I would send them a MySpace message. And if not, I would write them, either call them on the phone or write them letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in that sense, everything went very smooth.
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of work because let's say the band agrees on sending a recipe, that doesn't mean that they would actually do it.
Oh.
So I had to say, hey, do you have a recipe yet? I had to really always push them to get the recipes, and that was a lot of work. But it happened, and the results are great.
So after they finally sent you the recipe, you're good to go?
Yeah, that's right.
How long would it take, let's say, to get a recipe for each artist? A week?
Oh, it depends. Andreas Kisser from Sepultura.
Right.
He sent it maybe like 2 days after.
Okay.
But then there's, underground bands that would take maybe like 2 or 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it really depends. Sometimes, because it's hard to do a recipe, right? It's not like an interview. You need to go in your kitchen, do the recipe, or ask your mom to write it down for you.
Or grandma.
Yeah, that's right.
And let's say these artists that did collaborate in this awesome book, these are actual recipes that they use.
Yeah, and they're all their own recipes.
Wow.
Or recipes, there's some bands in there that don't cook themselves.
Okay.
And they really love, their mom's cooking.
So they're like mama boys.
Yeah, some of them. Like Pentagram. I don't know if you're familiar with this band, but they're like the American Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And the vocalist is, he still lives at his mom's place, and he asked her for her favorite, his favorite recipe.
That's too classic.
It is.
What was the hardest band to track down that actually made it in this book?
That's a good question. It was probably Phil Lynot's mother from Thin Lizzy. I really wanted to have. I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan, and I really wanted to contact her. So I searched all over the internet to find her address at home.
Right.
And I wrote her a letter, and it took weeks and weeks, and finally she replied back with a recipe, a handwritten recipe. So that was really, I was really glad for that result.
Yeah, for Tin Lizzy fans also, it's a good. So this would have been what Phil Lynott would have ate at home.
That's right. Yeah.
And for Tin Lizzy fans, that would have meant a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So where can
it's really touching.
Oh yeah, for guaranteed. Where can you buy this book, anyways? Online?
Yeah, for now, you can buy it on Amazon.ca or my editor's website, which is, well, you can write hellbentforcooking.com.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working out a distribution deal right now, so it might be available in more Canadian, chapters, Indigo,
Coles. That's Indigo,
Coles,
I think, yeah.
HMVs, stuff like that. So
oh, great.
Let's cross our fingers together and.
Yes, we do need this book in all chapters.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be awesome. And so far, a lot of people are trying the recipes, and they send me photos, and everyone is really happy about it. And it's turning on a bunch of people to new bands, so that was my main goal at first.
You're sure doing it, actually, because I've discovered bands from this book also.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually quite a few bands that, I would have never imagined. Like the band Slaughter in here, that has Chuck Schuldiner would have been in this band at one point of time.
Yep, that's right.
That's a rarity that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, and they even recorded a demo together.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about that. It's not the Slaughter that flies to the angels in that. This is
no.
This is the real Slaughter from the...
That's right, the Canadian one.
The Canadian one. What bands are you promoting at this moment?
Right now, that's a good question. Oh my God, I listen to so many albums, it's just insane. There's a band called Lord from France, which is black thrash. I've been listening to that today. What else? There's Iron Claw, which is heavy rock, like proto-metal kind of stuff. Wow, I have to look at myself. Oh yeah, Swedish death metal. I've been obsessed with Swedish death metal these days.
Okay.
I read the book by Daniel Ekiroth. It's a really great book, by the way. And I've been buying a bunch of Swedish death metal albums and just listening to that while cooking. It's really great.
Do you find that bands like that come from Sweden and cold places play faster because of the extremes outside?
Well, they don't necessarily play faster, but they have a much more evil feeling.
Because they're angry of the cold?
Maybe. Or their hearts are frozen.
That could be also true.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of Entombed, and I bought the Swedish death metal 3 CD compilation, and that is some very good cooking music.
I'm sure it is. What's your take on bands like Motley Crue and all them that came to Quebec and Guns N' Roses? Do you go and see those groups as well, or do you ignore that?
I'm not really into that type of metal. There's maybe like one song from Motley Crue that I like. So, and Guns N' Roses, I was never into them, but I don't have any opinion. I don't know if maybe the shows are really good, but I won't spend my money and go see them.
Okay. Just saying it because they did have just a Canadian tour just a few days ago. And
yeah, and a few friends of mine went to see them. But I don't really, watch TV or read newspapers. I'm kind of living into a heavy metal rock or something.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have met you on the internet, and let's promote this book to make some sales. Are we going to make the top seller list and beat Ozzy Osbourne? You know he has his book out.
Yeah.
This is Ozzy.
Who knows? You're a big Ozzy fan, aren't you?
I am a great Ozzy fan, yes. Where's the Ozzy Osbourne recipe?
I tried, but nobody got back to me.
Keep on cooking. You're an awesome chef, I take it, and the pizza on the front cover looks awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It's the best looking pizza I actually ever seen in my life. It's that good.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yep. All right, well, keep on cooking, and you rock out and or play those death metal tunes and all those black metal tracks.
All right.
All right.
Cheers. Take care.